Ladies and gentlemen, this is Infinity 43, thrashing about in Forza again. I'm in the Nissan GTR. Never driven this car before. Massive wheel spin off the line. I can't even keep it in a straight line. This race not going to last very long, as you'll see. Absolute carnage in front end. Just send that poor guy flying across the track and then mount him. Yes, lovely. So that's pretty much this race completely and utterly ruined. I did have one moment that I just wanted to show you. I'm not particularly proud of this, but I'm willing to be open and show you my faults, because this is quite bad. So coming up to turn 3, or I call it turn 3 Road America, and the Lambo just punched me sideways, and for some reason I just saw red. I completely lost it, and so this is the same lap a little bit later on, coming up to left chicane in Road America, and I just floor the car and absolutely mash him into the wall, end his existence. I do admit I feel dirty with shame, but it was well worth it just to get him back. So next race, I'm in the Porsche 996 at Indianapolis. It's actually a pretty good car for our class, although I've made a hash of the start from 6th down to 11th. And the Porsche pulls in front of me. I just don't brake enough, punting, but nothing too bad. Then I get pushed off the track, and the worst rejoin ever. Look at that. That was absolutely brutal. Chaos in front, and like a boss, I just sneak my way through up into 3rd place. And I got a bit of speed on this guy, so I go around the outside on the Doctor. Yes, brilliant. And then I forget which layout of Indianapolis we're running. I go the wrong way like a complete and utter turd. So that was the end of that race pretty much. So after plenty of frustration, we end up back in A class at Sonoma Raceway in the Mercedes E190 yet again. Now before we go any further, I do feel the need to mention that this race came at the end of about an hour and a half of plenty of frustration and anger at other drivers, many of whom are in this lobby, that were driving awfully, and so you're going to see some pretty dirty driving from me along the way. Once again, I hang my head in absolute shame, but at this point I was quite past the point of trying to be the nice guy on the track, and I just decided they can all get stuffed. So here we go, decent start, got around one guy who seemed to forget that he was actually playing the game. I'm pretty much in last, discounting the man who hasn't started. Sonoma is a tricky circuit, lots of up and downs, and the corners can be deceiving. Mostly clean to the first corner, which is good. This race isn't actually too bad for quality of driving. There are some questionable moves, a lot of them from myself, but most of it's not too bad. So yeah, I just managed to just kind of sneak through the cars. We're taking the slightly alternate route, and the inside I meant to go on the inside of that guy, but punted him off because I didn't brake enough. And you know what, I don't care, not bothered. Into the long, this is a strange corner, it's got a long turn, get through quite cleanly, and I'm up to 4th place at this point from 11th, not a bad start. These corners, you just got to make sure you don't carry too much speed like I just did there. Too much speed into the corner can kind of throw you off, but I'm mostly through okay. I am losing some ground to the guys ahead though, and there's, what's his name, Fun Tune is right on my tail. I'm really not going to help myself when I drive into the wall like that though. So down to 5th, and we're coming up to the last hairpin now. This guy moves to the right. I don't know if he thought I was going to drive into him, and then I do anyway, but at least it's not too serious. And we're pretty much through the first lap now. 5th place, not too bad. Let's see where we can go from here. We're about 1,500 feet behind Idle Fart in 1st place, great username, but 2nd, 3rd and 4th are right in front of me, so if I can just not get onto the grass, then I can stay with them, perhaps past them, but I'm not going to do it like that. Just too much speed into that first turn, and I ruined that opening of the lap. So down to 6th place, and yeah, I can't blame anybody for that except me really, but I'm still not too far away from 5th and 4th, and 2nd and 3rd aren't too far out on the road, so maybe I can still catch up with them. A-class racing I find to be mostly pretty clean. I mean, every multiplayer hopper has got its bad moments, some more than others. R-class and P-class, I mean, those places are dreadful, but A-class is not too bad. If you get on a nice hopper, it's actually a lot of fun to play in A-class. I find these days that the endurance hopper is one of the cleanest because of the simulation damage. A little bit better through this corner than last time, and I'm right up next to the Corvette. Don't quite have the speed to get right around him, so you better go straight next to each other into the hairpit. I give him space, plenty of space, don't want to drive into him, just enough, and then he bails out. So don't know if the lag, I see I've got some high latency, I don't know if I maybe hit his front and didn't feel it on my side, but either way, I'm through, back into 5th, and let's try again. Let's try and catch these guys in 4th, 3rd. 3rd goes off the track. I almost do as well, but hands me the place. That's very handy. So up into 4th place, and the Corvette's right behind me, so I can't afford any mistakes through this sweeping section. Be very careful on the power coming up the hill there. You just don't want to overdo it. It can ruin your whole race, and the grass is very unforgiving around this track. Slightly wide, a little bit off the line, but I think I got away with it there. So now we're hunting down Tenosh 911 in what I believe is an Alpha. I don't really know all the cars in this game too well. I know the cars that I like, the rest I genuinely couldn't give a stuff about. So I think he's driving an Alpha though, maybe a 33. Is that even a model? I don't know. I don't care. I think I got some good lines to those corners, and then coming into this one, which caught me out already once. It's probably my best run through that corner so far. So I am closer to the Alpha in front of me, and I catch right up on braking, and then mercilessly just push him. It was an awful move, but if you had seen the hour before this race, you'd understand why I felt nothing but genuine pleasure. It's so terrible. Last lap, and I'm what, 150 feet away from 2nd place, on the podium already, but certainly 2nd place is on here. So let's see what happens. We got a back marker not too far ahead. I wonder if he's going to come into play. One of the things I just really don't understand about Forza, and why they don't ghost out lap cars, it just makes no sense to me. How many races, if you play this game, how many races have you been in that have where the finishing result has been messed with by a back marker deliberately? Boggles the mind. Very wide by 2nd place, and he's into the barrier, and so is the back marker. Gives me a free track to ride through. That was much easier than I thought it would be. And up into 2nd place. 1st place is apologies, my brain stopped working. 1st place very far ahead, so I don't think I'm going to get there, but 2nd place is good. I've had a couple of 3rd place finishes, and now a couple of 2nd place finishes. Still being eluded by that very difficult 1st place, but I'm hoping soon I'll get there. So that was one of the better A-class races, and generally, I mean, the content I put up for Forza so far has been quite messy, but this was one of the better ones. They do happen once in a while if you're patient. So fun race, really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And I'll be back soon with some more content. And when you're playing Forza, don't be dirty like me and lose your temper when other guys smash you off, although it's incredibly difficult to not lose your temper. I'm Infinity43, and I will see you again soon.